Okay, so we've downloaded our data from Words, and you might not be very comfortable with Excel, so I'm going to show you how to calculate all these ratios. I'm not going to calculate all the ratios. It'll take quite a bit of time. However, I will show you a quicker way to calculate these ratios than you might have thought. First thing I'm going to do is create a Home Depot ratio sheet. And I will do a couple ratios like the current ratio, the quick ratio, the asset turnover ratio, the profit margin ratio, ROA, and ROE. You have a much larger list of ratios that you need to calculate, but this will at least get you started in the process. Notice here that I am not leaving any spaces. This is not supposed to be a neat sheet or a real pretty sheet. I'm just going to do some calculations here and then a little later aggregate all my ratios together on one spreadsheet. I'll put the dates up here. I'll just go ahead and reference the dates from Compustat or from the Home Depot file. So I have my dates here. And then I'll go ahead and calculate my ratio. The current ratio is current assets over current liabilities. The quick ratio is current assets less inventory divided by current liabilities. Total asset turnover ratio, that is sales divided by total assets. Notice here that I'm not copying them across right now. I'm just calculating each ratio and moving on down. Profit margin ratio. Profit margin ratio is net income divided by sales. ROA is net income divided by assets. And ROE is net income divided by total shareholders' equity. Now, before I copy my ratios over, I'm going to copy the sheet 3 times. Or 2 times. And then I'm going to rename one of these sheets as Low and Sears. Get rid of the 2 and the 3. Now if you notice here, because all these financial statements are exactly the same, assets start out at row 11. And net income is always on row 89. Because they're exactly the same, all I need to do is change where the sheet is pointing to. So this is pointing to Home Depot, but for my Lowe's one, I just need to change it and point it to Lowe's. So I can type in here, L-O-W, L-O-W, and then hit enter, and that would update the would update it from the Home Depot current ratio to the Lowe's current ratio. But I'll even go one step further than that. I'm going to select all my ratios, and I'm going to do a find. And to do a find and replace, I'm going to click over here under Home, far right hand side. I'm going to click on Find and Replace. And what am I going to replace HD with Low? L-O-W. And normally I would just go through and do each individual one to make sure that I'm not going to make a mistake, but I'm just going to do all of them. And I've updated all my ratios. I'm going to do the same thing for Lowe's. For Sears. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy these over. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to aggregate the ratios onto one sheet.